Welcome back, everyone. The kids are finally going back to school, and that means new friends coming into their life and a lot of time, unfortunately, spent on their devices. And that can unfortunately cause some stress for parents who want to make sure that their kids stay safe on the internet, which is always a top priority. We have Keron Incarnato here from AT&T Connecticut. I want to talk about some tips on how to navigate with those people online, whether it be friends or connections through school. So Keron, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, many of us, including our kids, but as parents, we use the parental controls for our TV and, our video streaming devices. But that's kind of hard, and it's an iffy subject when talking about our kids online with social media and the internet these days. So what can we do as parents to make sure that they are staying safe and on track if they are supposed to be doing schoolwork?
Yeah, so, our kids are consuming a lot of content these days beyond traditional TV and movies. So think about how much they're consuming on their smartphones and tablets. So depending on the type of device you use, there are some options. There's a parent guide on Google Play for Android devices, and you can find similar controls under screen time settings on your Apple devices. But I do recommend that you go a step or two further. You want to make sure you're checking the privacy settings on their devices as well. You may want to opt out of things like location sharing or allowing apps to post personal information to social media sites. And the same goes for video games. Most of the major platforms allow parents to manage game use, and that includes age ratings, internet access, and in-game purchases.
And nowadays, obviously, with phones at our kids' fingertips and kids getting phones younger and younger, we hear a lot about cyberbullying these days. Now, what exactly is that in your eyes, and how do we keep an eye out for it? Because it's unfortunately something that with technology, kids can't really escape anymore.
They really can't, and cyberbullying is the use of technology, think text messages, apps, or social media, to harass, threaten, or intimidate someone. And sadly, kid-to-kid bullying online is one of the most common forms. My number one piece of advice: watch and learn together with your kids. Some interest in what they're playing and doing, even if it's only for a few minutes here and there, it's going to give you a glimpse into what they're into, and it's going to help you see what they're playing and who they're playing with online so that you can properly regulate it. Another thing I talk to my kids about is to be good digital citizens. I have 2 teenage girls myself, and I tell them all the time, before you post something or send a text, would it be something you'd want grandma to see? So you got to remind kids that they can't unsend something. It's out there. So think first.
I think that is such an important message for all of our kids to be good digital citizens. Luckily, my child is only 2, and I'll soon have a newborn, so I don't have to deal with this yet. But Keron, unfortunately, we are out of time, but I want to thank you so much for your time and these great tips for everybody.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. That is our School Squad segment for the day. It is a really exciting time, but also a time to be really careful with our kids and remind them to be that good digital citizen. Tim and Erica.
Absolutely, Lauren. Thanks so much.
Well,
really
we're not
important reminders.
Absolutely, and we're not.